For years, the Vikings have been searching for an elite new quarterback. Now, all eyes are on J.J. McCarthy. The front office did more than just place a bet. They crafted a bold plan centered around number 9. Why did they let go of veteran players? What does McCarthy have that others didn't? And how can he elevate this team to the next level and put Minnesota back in the Super Bowl race? Stay tuned until the end of this video to understand everything happening behind the scenes. The Minnesota Vikings entered the 2024 season betting on J.J. McCarthy as their quarterback of the future, selecting him with the 10th overall pick in the draft after a trade with the New York Jets. This decision marks a shift in the franchise's approach, which has historically alternated between veteran players and young prospects without finding a definitive solution at the position since Fran Tarkenton's retirement. Following Kirk Cousins' departure, whose consistent performance failed to lead the team to significant playoff success, the front office decided to build a competitive roster around the young quarterback. The offensive line was bolstered with the additions of Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, while the backfield gained versatility with the arrival of Jordan Mason and the renewal of Aaron Jones, creating a favorable environment for McCarthy's adaptation. Despite coming from a college system focused on the running game, averaging 22.1 pass attempts per game at Michigan, McCarthy demonstrated field awareness, accuracy, and pocket control, along with a proven winning mentality, boasting a 27-1 record as a starter and a national championship title won in 2023. Head coach Kevin O'Connell's philosophy is to develop the young quarterback gradually through a balanced offensive scheme that doesn't rely exclusively on the quarterback. This strategy aims to avoid excessive pressure on McCarthy, allowing him to grow within a structured system surrounded by talent, including receivers like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. The model adopted by the Vikings is based on leveraging the initial contract to aggressively invest in other areas of the roster, such as the defensive line, strengthened by Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, and the secondary, which added Isaiah Rodgers. The goal is to ensure the team's overall competitiveness while McCarthy develops. His competitive profile was decisive in the selection, as demonstrated in a conversation with general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah before the draft, in which he expressed confidence by directly questioning why he shouldn't be chosen. His on-field intelligence was evident in plays like the one against the Raiders, where he manipulated the opposing safety with his gaze before delivering an accurate pass to Lucky Jackson. The structure built around him seeks to replicate successful models of teams that capitalized on the affordable early contract period of their quarterbacks, using financial flexibility to build strong rosters across multiple sectors. Despite the solid structure the Minnesota Vikings have built around J.J. McCarthy, the pressure on the young passer is inevitable. His performance as early as 2024 could be crucial for the franchise to move from being merely competitive to becoming a real title contender. Although the plan involves a gradual transition, the front office knows that if McCarthy quickly delivers on his potential, the team could accelerate its more ambitious goals. A practical example of his tactical intelligence was observed in a specific play against the Las Vegas Raiders, where he used his gaze to manipulate the safety, drawing him toward the center of the field before delivering an accurate pass to the sideline for Lucky Jackson. This ability to read defenses and display patience in the pocket demonstrates that, even with limited experience in the NFL style of play, McCarthy already possesses advanced tools to compete at a high level. The structure built by the Vikings to aid his adaptation also includes the presence of Sam Darnold, who can act as a transitional quarterback if McCarthy isn't immediately ready to take over. This alternative allows the franchise to avoid rushing the young quarterback's development, something that has historically hindered other inexperienced quarterbacks in similar situations. The idea is to ensure he only steps onto the field when he has full command of the offensive system and the confidence to lead the team. McCarthy arrives with a college resume that reinforces his winning mentality. In his only loss as a starter at Michigan during the college football playoff semifinal against TCU, he still threw 3 touchdowns and kept the team competitive until the end, showcasing his ability to perform even in adverse scenarios. Furthermore, the Vikings have structured their offense so that McCarthy doesn't need to win games solely with his arm. The balance provided by the running game, with Jordan Mason's strength in short yardage situations and Aaron Jones's versatility in both blocking and the passing game, allows head coach Kevin O'Connell to explore a variety of offensive formations. This reduces the predictability of the offense and simplifies reads for the young quarterback in his early games. This combination of technical support, tactical structure, and offensive flexibility aims to ensure that McCarthy has not only talent around him, but also a system designed to grow with him, transforming the Vikings into a sustainable force within the NFL. Unlike other young quarterbacks thrust prematurely into disorganized teams, McCarthy will have offensive and defensive support, as well as the option to start as a starter only when he's ready, with Sam Darnold serving as a transitional backup. This approach represents a clear shift from the franchise's past attempts, showcasing patience and long-term planning, and reinforces the belief that McCarthy could be the transformative factor to elevate the Vikings to a new level of competitiveness in the NFL. Following Kirk Cousins' departure after 6 seasons as the starting quarterback, the Minnesota Vikings identified the need to find a signal caller capable of taking the team to a higher level of competitiveness, especially in the playoffs, where Cousins failed to deliver significant results. The franchise's initial efforts included negotiations for established names like Justin Herbert and Drake May, but without success. The solution came through a trade with the New York Jets, securing the 10th overall pick in the 2024 draft and the selection of J.J. McCarthy. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah emphasized that the decision was based on a thorough analysis of the player's qualities, including his ability to adapt to professional football and his competitive mindset. McCarthy drew attention during the pre-draft process for his confident demeanor, even going so far as to directly ask Adofo-Mensah if there was any reason he shouldn't be chosen, a gesture that reinforced his image as a potential leader. Despite coming from a more conservative offensive system at Michigan, his ability to read defenses, deliver accurate passes, and demonstrate situational intelligence suggests he can develop quickly under the guidance of head coach Kevin O'Connell. The team's plan is to facilitate this transition with a balanced and progressive offensive scheme, combining safe pass plays with a strong running game led by Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. The receiving core, featuring Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, provides multiple offensive options, while the offensive line protection has been bolstered by the additions of Kelly and Fries. In addition to the offensive structure, the Vikings also invested in the defense, signing Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and Isaiah Rodgers, creating a roster capable of competing without relying solely on the young quarterback's performance. This approach follows a successful trend in the NFL, where teams take advantage of young quarterback contracts to build robust and financially sustainable rosters. Unlike previous attempts to address the position with veterans or rushed bets, the current strategy demonstrates long-term planning and patience. The Vikings hope that McCarthy, with his combination of technical skill, winning mentality, and structural support, can not only establish himself as the starting quarterback, but also transform the franchise into a serious Super Bowl contender in the coming years. This transformation into a legitimate Super Bowl candidate depends not only on J.J. McCarthy's technical development, but also on the consolidation of a competitive environment that fosters the flourishing of his talent. And that is exactly what the franchise has been trying to cultivate in Minnesota since the early days of training camp. Behind-the-scenes reports from analysts close to the team indicate that McCarthy has been absorbing the playbook with unusual speed for a young quarterback, demonstrating mastery of complex offensive concepts such as mesh, dagger, and post-snap read-based plays against nickel defenses. This has surprised even members of the defensive staff during the first preseason scrimmages. But more than memorizing plays, what stands out is his situational adaptability, especially regarding the adjustment of offensive line protection, a skill that few quarterbacks with less than a year of experience can execute with authority. It is precisely this early maturity that has led Kevin O'Connell to seriously consider giving McCarthy significant snaps as early as the first weeks of the regular season. Although the public narrative remains one of cautious transition, the reality of the NFL is volatile and directly responds to on-field production. So if McCarthy demonstrates the same consistency in games as he has shown in practice, the waiting period may naturally shorten. And that's exactly why the training sessions have been conducted at a pace close to that of the regular season, simulating real pocket pressure, quick reads, and pre-snap adjustments in reduced time. This is where the importance of the reinforced offensive line comes into play, because by giving McCarthy an average of 2.7 to 3.1 seconds in the pocket, the ideal range for developing QBS, the Vikings maximize his chances of immediate success without compromising his physical safety or confidence. It's worth noting that one of the main reasons promising quarterbacks have failed in recent years has been premature exposure without adequate protection. As seen in cases like Zach Wilson with the Jets and Sam Darnold early in his career, both forced to improvise under constant pressure and without a supporting running game. This contrasts sharply with McCarthy's current scenario, where in addition to having a solid line, he benefits from Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, two running backs capable of sustaining drives consistently and creating space for play action, a crucial tool for developing quarterbacks as it simplifies, reads, and moves the opposing defense, especially in zone coverage. In this regard, the sophistication of O'Connell's offense becomes evident, offering formation variations with 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, and pre-snap motion packages that confuse defensive reads and favor quick throws on crossing routes, something McCarthy executed with mastery at Michigan, especially when targeting slants and outs on third down. If he can transfer this efficiency to the NFL, the Vikings will be able to sustain long drives, control the clock, and reduce the exposure of their defense, which in turn was strategically built to capitalize on long third downs with pressure coming from the interior through Jonathan Allen and Hargrave, and reinforced coverage by Isaiah Rodgers, a speedy cornerback with quick reaction times and the ability to play in multiple schemes. This balance between offense and defense is likely to create an environment where McCarthy won't need to carry the team on his back, but can grow within a system that values the distribution of responsibilities, something increasingly rare in a league obsessed with savior quarterbacks. And perhaps it's precisely this refusal by the Vikings to repeat past mistakes, such as the excessive reliance on Kirk Cousins in critical moments, that is paving the way for a more enduring cycle of success. And of course, all this planning still needs to be validated on the field, because no matter how promising a quarterback may seem on paper, the real test begins when the pressure comes from all sides, the stadium is packed, and the time to think is reduced to just 2 seconds. That's when we discover whether the talent is real or if it was just a preseason illusion. But if McCarthy truly is everything he's been described as, a natural leader, a student of the game, and a precise executor, then Vikings fans have legitimate reasons to dream of a new era, an era that not only corrects past missteps, but finally delivers what the fan base has longed for. A quarterback capable of leading the franchise not just to the playoffs, but to the top of the NFL. And with that, I ask you, the fan, in your opinion, is J.J. McCarthy the right name to guide the Minnesota Vikings to the Super Bowl? Leave your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more analyses like this, and share it with other fans. Thank you for watching, and go Vikings!